Hey everyone!
Hi Jordan, long time no see. Let's make up for that right now by going over a whole bunch of spirit science videos.
Today we're going to be looking at a series of insights from a book called The Celestine Prophecy by author James Redfield.
Episode 14 seems like a sales pitch for that book. We're not even told what the insights are, we're just told about them in really vague terms. There's really nothing for me to respond to, so you know what? I won't. I'm just gonna move on. Episode 15, The Power of Heart. What? Do I have to? Look, I did the of course thing. Yes, I know, but do I really have to do everything the Nostalgia Critic... Fine. Heart.
Now, throughout ancient history, across many religions and belief systems, the heart was always considered a center of the being, the source of spiritual wisdom and insight, thought, emotion, and connection to the divine.
Right, and...
Western scientific thought places the heart as just a pump.
Since what Jordan means by Western science is science. Science is the same no matter where you go. I have nothing more to add. Nice self-ponage. I'm gonna move on to episode 16, The Shift of Ages.
Let's talk about 2012.
No, let's not. As expected, nothing out of the ordinary happened. Moving on to episode 17, Universal Geometry. Uh-oh.
In the last year, this image has become widespread. People around the world are sharing sacred geometry and talking about what it is and what it means. Today, let's explore this a little deeper.
No, let's not. Oh, I've already said everything there is to say about this whole sacred geometry crap in previous episodes of this series. You assign an arbitrary meaning to a pattern and then act as if the meaning is derived from the pattern. Here, let me show you how silly this is. A triangle symbolizes my victory over Jordan and Patchman. Now, sure, you could turn it upside down and say that it's the other way around, but then you're pointing out a flaw in my thinking instead of being creative. That's just being negative and closed-minded. It also infringes upon my right to believe whatever I want. See what I did there, SS fanboys? The side of a pyramid is triangular in shape and even points up. Clearly the ancient Egyptians foresaw that I would make this series. But that's not all. Notice how you can pick out 3 stars in the night sky and they form a triangle? The cosmos itself is siding with me and announcing it all the time. Jordan, if you think this is stupid, you understand the problem. Moving on to episode 18, The 4 Elements.
We know the 4 elements: earth, air, water, and fire. It's the geometry of a square. We have 4 states of matter. We have 4 seasons. We have 4 directions.
There are 4 seasons of Star Trek Enterprise. What's your point?
Dimensions go like this. 1 is 1 dot. That's unity, or dimension 0. Then 2 is a line. That's duality. 3 dots is a triangle, so you get a flat plane, a 2-dimensional shape. 4 dots is a tetrahedron, giving you depth, bringing you to the 3rd dimension.
Oh, so 4 dots can give you a 3-dimensional shape. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. 4 elements, 4 dots, 3 dimensions. This reality is 3-dimensional, at least in terms of space. So, yeah, okay. But look, the 4 elements thing, that's alchemy. It's been abandoned for centuries. Hang on. Nassim Haramein?
Amazing physicist of the future, Nassim Haramein.
No, Nassim Haramein is neither amazing nor a physicist. Nassim Haramein is a guy who says a lot of stupid things about physics without having any relevant education and without submitting to peer review. His claim to fame is that he presented a physics paper, the SchwarzChilled Proton, at a computing conference in Belgium and won an award for best paper in the physics category. At a computing conference. Yay! Considering that physicists weren't the ones reviewing it, that's not very impressive. I've actually had a look at the paper myself, and it's basically a pile of stupid presented in physics lingo, giving the ignorant the impression that it's actually serious science. Haramain does what all pseudoscientists do. He goes straight to the public, bypassing peer review, because he can't convince anyone with any knowledge of the subject. Instead, he focuses on convincing the ignorant, and, of course, conspiracy theorists. The idea he presents is that a proton is a tiny black hole. This would mean that atoms aren't held together by the strong nuclear force, but by gravity. If we can get rid of the strong nuclear force, that's a huge step toward unifying the forces of nature in a single theory. That's a great idea. Too bad it doesn't work. Look, I'm not going to spend too much time in this video picking his paper apart, but here's just one of the problems with it. Haramain calculates the mass of a proton to 885 million tons. His calculation is wrong because he uses an incorrect value for the radius of the proton, but whatever. That's nitpicking compared to the real problem. Given the mass, he calculates the force between two protons in a nucleus to be 100 times smaller than the measured value, and concludes that it's good enough to warrant getting rid of the strong nuclear force. Obviously it wouldn't. He's still off by a factor of 100 and tries to hide this by giving the value in percent to make it look 100 times greater. And of course, he also completely ignores the fact that when we measure the mass of a proton, we get the result 1.67 times 10 to the negative 27 kilograms. That means Haramain is wrong by 38 orders of magnitude. To put that into perspective, it's like saying that a hydrogen atom has a radius 100 times that of the observable universe, that a human has a mass 1 billion times that of the sun, or that Attack of the Clones is a good movie. Haramain's idea simply doesn't match reality in any way, but yeah, I guess taking reality into consideration is just being closed-minded. This is the problem with all this outside-the-box thinking you guys seem to love so much. Yes, thinking outside the box is great, but at the end of the day, if your description of reality doesn't match reality, then it's wrong. Moving on to episode 19, Cosmic Connections.
Everything is connected, and each and every topic in spirit science is connected too, perhaps in a deeper way than any of us might know. In a nutshell, that's really what spirit science is about. We're making connections.
Right, but the important thing here is that you're making it all up. You're not looking for and finding connections, you're making connections.
If we find that things are not connected, we can add new points to find the connections.
See? Sacred geometry can connect anything with anything, since you can assign any arbitrary meaning to any pattern you like. Like I said, it's useless.
The way that science is hoping that finding the Higgs boson will bridge some gaps between the standard model of physics and understand other things like consciousness and gravity.
No, the search for the Higgs boson has absolutely nothing to do with consciousness.
Let's take this one step deeper, because I know there's one aspect about this that a lot of people are hesitant about. It's the use of this word, spirit, in conjunction with this word, science.
Right! Thank you, Jordan, for finally acknowledging this.
Many people feel that these words need to be kept separate, although I will share that in my experiences, I've learned that magic can happen when powerful energies come together.
Well, that'll teach me not to get my hopes up in the future. And again with the misuse of the word energy. But seriously, bringing things together is not always a good thing. Bringing a Catholic priest and a 10-year-old boy together, not a great idea.
In fact, it's the very nature of physics and our own sun, whereas fission, on the other hand, has been used to blow up and demolish entire cities.
Okay, a couple of things. First of all, hydrogen bombs that use nuclear fusion are far more powerful than the ones dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki that used fission. Second, the animation you showed was of an electron and a positron annihilating each other. That's a matter-antimatter reaction, and that's not nuclear fusion. That's even more energetic, and a weapon based on antimatter reactions would be even more destructive. So your analogy fails in absolutely every way imaginable. That's it for now, Jordan. I can't believe I had so little to say as I went through 6 entire episodes of Spirit Science. But, most of these episodes were just word salad. So, there was not a hell of a lot for me to work with. Fortunately, I've got more to say about your next episode, which is about water, so we're gonna start talking about Emoto again. Oh, that's gonna be fun. See you then.